want to make maple syrup, you need a maple tree, and this is what one looks like. We're at Tractor Supply to get taps for the maple trees. Here are the taps that we need. They're $5.99 for a 12-pack. We're at Harbor Freight to get buckets for the sap. Buckets are about $4 and the lids are about $3. We're off to collect some maple syrup. At Menards to get the hose to connect the taps to the buckets. It's the tubing that we get. It's a 50-foot roll and it costs about $16. Now that we got the supplies from the stores, now you need some supplies from home, which is a drill, a tape measure, some scissors or cutters, masking tape, drill bits, and a wooden mallet. Now that we got our drill, which is a 5/16, and our piece of tape that's marked 2 inches from the tip, I'm gonna drill from this root 3 feet above, which is about right here, at an upwards angle. Now that we got our hole drill, we're gonna hit this tap into the tree. We've already got sap dripping from it. Now that we got our tap pounded in, we're gonna take our hose and put it into the tap. And now that we got the tap into our hose, we're gonna cut it about this long, probably about this long. Now that we got everything ready, we need to drill a hole into our bucket. The last step is to insert the line. There we go. The final step is that we need to take a rock that's about 2 pounds and put it on top of the lid so the bucket doesn't blow away. Now let's check how much sap this tree has that we tapped yesterday. Open this lid, take the rock off, open this lid. Hey Dad, can you hold this?
Yep.
That's a pretty good amount. Now we're just gonna take this bucket, bring it over here, swap it out with this one. This is our last tree. Let's see how much sap this one has. Sometimes you gotta combine the buckets because we got no more buckets and hopefully this fits into there. It's gonna be close.
It's gonna be heavy.
Yeah, we barely got it. I'm gonna put this back on. Same with the rock.
You want to be real careful not to get any dirt or anything in your sap.
Yep, there's a piece of grass on the lid. Because if you do, you're gonna need to straighten it out with a coffee filter when you start to boil it.
Okay.
Now that we collect this sap from that tree and the one up front, we're gonna start boiling. To start boiling, we need to put the sap into this metal bucket.
Kind of looks like water, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's a 40-to-1 ratio.
And that pot is clean. It's just stained.
Yep. Now we're gonna start boiling. Now that we got this full and we're gonna start this one, we've already got this one going, but we're just gonna show you the process. So we're gonna turn it on and light it. And I'm gonna take this, put it on. Let's start boiling. Now that we have the sap boiling around 214 degrees, every single time it gets a little low, we're gonna try and put the sap in there with a measuring cup so it doesn't get as low as the temperature as it would if you would just dump it in with a bucket. So the temperature right now is at 203 degrees, 201 degrees, and if you would have dumped it with the bucket, it would have been around 180 degrees. So that's why we use this measuring cup. Before it comes back to a boil, you see this froth right here? You want to scoop it out with a strainer and a coffee filter. Because the froth contains impurities. And sometimes when you get closer to the finished product, you can swipe your finger along there and then taste it.
You can still try it now.
It tastes like maple syrup.
It's not concentrated yet, so.
Because right now, it just tastes like foam. I'm lighting a second pot now because it's more efficient to light 2 pots instead of just 1.